Good evening. Hope you've all made it to the right place, which is AP Biology with me, Brian Heenan, in room E210, or somewhere in your house, depending on what day of the week it is. If you ever need to get in touch with me, my contact information is right there. It's the school email. I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I possibly can. So just wanted to take the evening to kind of take you through what's in store for your students this year as we go through AP Biology and we prepare for the AP exam coming up in May. So in the spirit of Halloween, I'll start off with the scary stuff. Right? This is not an easy class. In fact, the exam itself is one of the toughest exams to score a 5 on. The exam went through a change about 8 years ago. It's made it very difficult to score a 5. In fact, at this school, we are the second hardest exam that's offered here at Marvelette High School. We're the hardest science exam, AP Physics 1. We don't give that exam here. But AP Biology is the hardest science exam to get a 5 on. The only exam that was harder last year to get a 5 on was actually one of the AP English exams, which I believe was literature and composition, I believe. So it's not easy. It's going to take a lot of work on my end, on your children's end, to ensure that we get to the end of this year and we are prepped and ready for that exam, which is going to be on May 14th this year. So the units that we follow are the units that are set out by the College Board. We started off actually the year with ecology. Your children were reading that over the summer. And then we moved into this chemistry of life. We're currently in cell structure and function. We'll make our way into cellular energetics, how cells communicate and reproduce. We'll get into heredity, the passing on of genetic information. Also looking at DNA and how DNA tells your cells how to produce the right proteins that make up your heredity. Then we'll get into natural selection and evolution. And then we'll probably have time at the end of the year to get a little bit more into kind of looking at us from the organism level and understanding how we function and looking at our organ systems. All right, so that's the basic setup. This is the exam weighting, meaning what you can expect to see on the exam, what percentage of it will be based on those units. But we cover all these units in a good amount of detail. That's the big thing with the new exam, is that it's more about depth of knowledge rather than breadth. It used to be that the exam was really long, 120 multiple choice questions, 4 long essays. Now it's been reduced. It's down to about 63 multiple choice questions and 2 long essays and then some shorter open responses. So it's more about having a really good comprehension of the material that we go over and being able to apply that to new situations. It's a big thing with the type of AP question that they're seeing. So where are we going to do this? We're going to kind of build in every unit that we do the 4 major themes of the class, which are, if you look at this, this is from the College Board: evolution, energetics, information storage and transmission, and system interactions. So we kind of, every unit touches upon a few of these themes as we go through the year. All right, so what you can expect to see in terms of assignments, I run this class like it's a college course. So more often than not, their assignment for the week is, this week, for example, read chapter 4 and read chapter 5. Right? That's what they should be doing asynchronously. And then I also give them some extra work to do, some worksheets to do. And this year, we can't do any of the AP labs in class because of the current situation. So fortunately, the science department got a license for this Pivot Interactives website, which allows students to actually perform something similar to these AP exams, AP labs, to get them ready for the exam. So they've already done 2 of the labs. They've got another one coming up this week. I highly suggest you sit down with them and let them take you through how to use it. It's a pretty cool platform that I'm glad that we found that we can make this work. And then they're going to have tests, usually once every 2 to 3 weeks, and then maybe I'll throw a quiz in there as well. And their grade is based on 3 categories: assessments, projects, and academic practices. And that's the rough breakdown of what their percentage grades would be. So as they go through week to week, they're going to see mostly academic practice grades going in and projects, because that's where labs fall in. And then every few weeks, we'll have an assessment that'll add into that as well. Now, once again, as I said, this is all preparing for the AP exam, which this year is on May 14th, provided everything goes as planned and the exam actually occurs. I'm sure the College Board is going to have the exam no matter what. Last year, they had the exam and just made an adjustment. And rather than it being 63 multiple choice questions and several open responses, it was 2 open responses, and that was it. So that made it even harder for the students to kind of know, all right, we learned all this year. What are those 2 open responses going to be about? Who knows? So hopefully it won't be that way. The College Board has had some time now to figure this out, and hopefully moving forward, it's going to be an assessment that's going to actually test your children's ability to apply their knowledge of biology that they learned this year. Now, in order to kind of prepare for this, the best things that they can be doing is get an AP Biology exam prep book. You can get them anywhere. Barron's makes one. Princeton Review makes one. Cracking the Exam makes them. They're all pretty good by now that they've figured out the new setup of the exam. So I highly suggest they get that. And don't wait until the end of the year. Do it now. It helps them get ready for the test that we have. Stay current. Don't fall behind. We move pretty quick. And I kind of take for granted that they may understand stuff already from their first year of biology. And if they didn't, and I move past it too quick, please encourage them to reach out to me. I'm happy to sit down and go over things. All right. So as I said, most of the homework is on their own. It's, hey, read this section or sections, and we're going to be going over it in class. We'll do a lecture. We'll do a lab to follow up, and you're going to have an exam coming up on it shortly thereafter. All right. Also, make sure I always put up review material on Google Classroom, which is where they're getting all their assignments. So I put that up there. They should be making their way through it. It's kind of similar to what they'd be getting in the AP Bio exam prep book as well. The more practice they get with these styles of question, the better. So I can't stress that enough. And then, as I said, if it's going too fast and you're really struggling, do not hesitate to reach out to me. I am happy to sit down through a Zoom session to go over what needs to be done. And there's so many more resources out there available now than when I first started teaching this class 19 years ago. This is my 19th year teaching AP Bio, and the amount that's available out there for students to access through video tutorials and all sorts of other things is we have this AP Classroom that they can go to now. There's so much out there. Take advantage of it, especially if you feel like you're falling behind and you need a little bit extra help. So there's this great Bozeman Science. He kind of does these screencasts of similar lectures to what I do if you ever need reinforcement or your students need reinforcement. Crash Course is another one that's great that takes you through kind of applying real life things to what's going on in our class as well. So that's kind of what needs to be done in our class. I highly suggest you sit down with your student and kind of ask, what's going on in class, especially taking a look at that lab platform. I think it's really going to help them in preparation for May 14th. If you're a junior or the parent of a junior, you might also be interested in taking the Bio SAT. Totally up to you. I would highly suggest that you wait until the June date, though, because the June date will be done as much as we can get done to get ready for that one as well. All right. Well, thank you all for coming out tonight. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the rest of your night, and feel free to reach out with any questions, comments, or concerns. Take care.